everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, please do consider subscribing, and if you're returning, welcome back. And of course, don't forget to hit that big thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. So I'm going to be working in Atlantis by Hanna Karlzon, her very latest new release colouring book. And I had started the seahorse page, and I popped a little post up to see if anyone would be interested in how I colour this lantern and create a sort of a bit of a glow around it, and quite a few people were interested to see that, so I'm going to do a quick video on that today. The rest of the page is complete, so it is just this teeny tiny bit left to do. I quite like it. I quite like the brightness of the page, and then I've got all this glitter gel pen going on around those crystals at the top and the bottom, which normally I outline all my crystals with white gel pen, and this time I outlined them with a glitter gel pen. I'm not sure if I like it or not. It's different, but I think I prefer my white outlining. I'm not sure. What do you think? What do you think? I think it was colouring with Kay I saw do the outlining with the glitter gel pen. Yeah, it's not too bad, is it? So I'm gonna zoom right down in on this lantern now. We're going to get you a good view of what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to try and angle the camera more over that way, and then yeah, let's drop it down, put you over there, then hopefully my hand won't be, if I'm coming in and it's making everything blurry, when my hand comes into the frame, then we'll lift you up a little bit. But I am of course using the Polychromos pencils. These are the pencils that I'm most comfortable with, and so, you know, naturally I'll be able to pick out some nice colours. So first off, now when you're doing a sort of fire, you can either do a yellow flame or an orange flame. It's completely up to you. I'm going to start off with orange right in the centre today. So I have picked out dark cadmium orange 115, and I'm going to go in all over this. It's just like a block colour, very easy. Medium to hard pressure, full on block colour, all in the middle. It is going a bit blurry, that, isn't it? I don't want it to be too close that it's becoming blurry. Stay in focus. Let me just check. It's quite blurry, isn't it? Hopefully that's better. Let's see what happens when we get our big hand in the way. Yeah, so all the way around with that colour. So we've got the darkest area there. I'm then going to switch to a slightly lighter colour. Now this one is called Orange Glaze, and if I put my hand under it will focus. 113, and this one I'm going to use light pressure this time, light to medium, and all around the area around this flame we're going to use small circular motions and just pull this colour from there. Probably go with a hard pressure just as we come away from the flame, and then ease off into medium light pressure around the edges. This pencil's going to snap any moment. You know when you've sharpened your pencil too much and you can just tell it's just going to go on me. It will at any given moment. It'll just go bang. Well, it won't go bang. Pencils don't go bang, do they? They go snap. But you get the idea. So we're creating this like small circular shape around the flame. Just there. Now we don't need to bring any of this colour down here, because all this is acting as it's sort of shadowing the direct light from the flame, but we are going to come into some lighter colours now. So I'm going to bring a little teeny tiny bit of dark chrome yellow 109. Obviously it doesn't want to focus again. Dark chrome yellow 109, and same sort of thing, we're going to start from the edge of the colour we've last used, and we're going to pull it out a little bit. Now there's not much of this colour, but it is just transitioning all your colours into those lighter ones. Now with this colour we can bring it down, so we are going to bring it down a little bit down here And down the other side. And then I'm going to go in with this. So this is Cadmium Yellow 107. There we go. And we're going to use this all around the little teeny tiny space that's left around the edges. We're going to go in with that. There was the snap on that one. Now obviously we're going to get this glow going around the outside of the lantern as well, and I'll show you to do that shortly, but I'm just going to colour everything inside here first. So that's everything there. Now the wax, I'm going to use a couple of greys. So I want warm greys for this, so you want your warm greys. So I'm going to go in first with warm grey 271. Focus pencil, focus. Light layer over all the drips and the actual candle itself down here. Now with a darker warm grey 273, I'm going to use this to put a little shadow just underneath here. So underneath all the little wax strips. So I'm going to put a little bit of that there just for a bit of depth really. And then I'm going to use the first pencil we used, so the first grey that we used, the warm grey 271. I'm just going to use that to blend that darkest colour into the rest. Now on the actual wax strips, I am going to use this one, light yellow glaze 104, and I'm going to pop a little bit down each one of them, just as though the light is hitting them and creating this little bit of a glow on the drips. Now what I like to do with candle wax as well, and I'll probably do it right at the end, is to go around it all with a white gel pen or a Posca pen. So that might come into play shortly. But the outside now, we're going to do the outside glow. So I'm going to start off with one of the paler shades, because we've got the deeper oranges in the centre, and then as the light moves out it's getting lighter and lighter. So I'm going to start on the outside, I'm going to start with this last yellow that we used, and I think it was the Cadmium Yellow 107, was it? Well, that's what we're going to use. So it's as if this colour is, you know, coming out of the edges. So I'd say I'm using a medium pressure here because we've got to go over all that Distress ink background. So I'm using a kind of medium pressure, and as I come towards the edges I'm sort of a really light pressure on those edges. Now I'm not going to take any of the glow effect underneath the lamp, because obviously this is acting as a sort of a cutout. You're not going to get the light going through the bottom of the lamp and coming under here. So I am going to stop around this edge here. So I'm going to soften this edge a little bit there. Soften that up, and then we're going to go back up this way, not forgetting the little bit inside there. And we are going to go around here. Same again on this side. So starting off with a kind of medium pressure, small circular motions, and pulling that colour into a light pressure. If you're not comfortable doing this in one of your best colouring books, print out a PDF first and try it on a, you know, a scrap piece of paper. I guarantee you, once you do this effect once, it's really easy, really easy. See how I've just brought that colour just round the edge here, but really lightly. And the same on the top. Sort of really light glow. So now I'm going to go in with an even lighter colour. So this one's light yellow glaze 104. Have I just used that one? Oh, that was 107, the cadmium yellow, yeah. Because I'm all confused. So this one I'm going to use, I'm going to take off where we left off with the other colour. That even makes sense. Where did that phrasing come out my mouth? And we're going to pull this colour out even further, but it is a really light colour, so it's as if the glow from the candle is fading the further we get away from that heat. You can even pop a bit of the really pale colour underneath a little bit if you want to. Pop a little bit underneath. Why not? All around it, this light colour. And then if you feel like it's not blended, I mean this looks quite blended around the edges, especially as it's going into the distress ink, but you can use a cream pencil 102. Obviously this has got a nice yellow tone in it, and you can just blend out with that if you need to. If you need something to do that with, use a cream, because that will be a really nice delicate colour to use. I'm going to use it on these, down this edge here, I think. And then once you've looped it, if you feel like you want to darken up any areas, I think I do, I'm going to go back in with cadmium yellow 107. I'm just going to darken up a bit of this glow here. And a bit more on this side. Just to really emphasise it a bit more. And I'm kind of liking where that is. Now I've thought about the colour I want to do the actual lantern, and I'm thinking I'm going to go for greys, but obviously we're going to be having some of the glow on it as well. So I'm going to use the same greys we used for the actual candle. So that's warm grey 271. I'm going to do an all over light covering, just a light covering. Over it all like that. And down underneath here. Now the only place I'm going to use the darker grey 273, apologise, it's not zooming in, it's not focusing, sorry, 273, I'm going to use this is the only one I'm going to use a bit down here, so I feel like we're going to have a shadow down here. Then I'm going to use the lighter colour 271 just to blend that in a bit better. I'll use that to burnish a little bit. There we go. I'm also going to use a little bit of it in the corners of everywhere else, so possibly underneath these little bits and around the outer edge possibly a little bit this darker colour. So underneath anything that's shadowed, like underneath these little things here, and down the outer edges of the lantern a little bit. Just gives it a bit more of a dimension. Now here I am going to go in a bit darker on the edges. Then ease off the pressure as you come into the centre. And then we're going to use the very lightest yellow, so light yellow glaze 104. I'm going to add a bit of this into the lamp. So on top of that grey, I'm going to add a bit of this because that glow is going to hit your lamp as well. It's not just going to go around it. I'm gonna stop it there. I think that's where I want it. So next up, I'm gonna add some glitter gel pen. I think, why not? So we're gonna go with some gold. There's only a tiny little bit of ink left in this one now. So this is just for this top bit. If it stops working on me, this gel pen, I'll cry. Well, maybe not cry, but it is feeling a bit, you know, when you can feel like a gel pen's on its way out and it's getting a bit scratchy and you're having to really push for the colour. I feel it's a bit like that. Oh, come on, little gel pen, you can do it. I'm going to go in that centre as well because that's the sort of a bit of a background what I've missed out. So we'll just pretend it's part of that. Because why not? And I'm going to do these little edging bits in the gold and the bit all along the bottom. These little bits here. You can colour this whatever colours you wish to colour the lantern, doesn't matter, but I would always put a little bit of that glow in there. Right, I'm gonna use, no, we'll go with the gold. We'll keep it with the gold. I was gonna use a different colour for that bit, but I thought no, it'd be too much. Just keep it as that. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice like that. Bit glittery, isn't it? So now I'm gonna get my white gel pen because we do want to go around. Let me just test if this is working okay. I alternate between gel pens. Sometimes I prefer the Posca, but my Posca's got a bit of a dodgy nib on at the minute, so it's not very precise. And then I alternate between the Uniball Signo and the Jelly Roll, but at the minute this one's working the best for me. So what I want to do now, I want to go around the flame. So, you know, sometimes gel pens can be temperamental, so you might feel like you have to go over it a few times. I like to go over it a few times and try and get it to come out a bit juicier. But it really doesn't matter, to be honest, on something like this, because it's going to look good anyway. There we go, and then we're going to colour the whole of this middle bit in. That's just something I like to do. If you just want to line, you know, do the outlining, just do the outlining. It's up to you. And then I'm going to go around all these drippy bits with a white gel pen as well. So it can be quite time consuming. But I have done this on a Hanna Karlzon page before around all the little drips of wax, and it has looked good in the end. It did take me quite a long time because it was a bigger illustration as well. This one's only little. So like I say, use whatever you prefer to use. If you prefer a Posca pen, use a Posca pen. Totally up to you. Halfway done. If you want it to look more prominent, instead of using the lightest yellow that I used on the wax, you could bring a bit of the orange coming down from the top. In fact, I might add a bit in. Might have to go back and add a bit in. It might be too late. I might have to wait for the gel pen to dry to do it. So that's that. Yeah, I'm gonna get one of the darker colours. I'm gonna get the dark chrome yellow 109, and I'm gonna just from the top bits, these waxy drip bits, I'm just gonna add. Now it might scratch off. Yeah, I might have to go back over with my white gel pen, but I just feel like it needs a bit of a darker colour at the top. It will scratch off the gel pen, but it is what it is. I'll go back over it. And then I'm going to add right at the top, dark cadmium orange 115. Right at the top there. I'm making trouble for myself, aren't I? But you only realise once you've done it and you think, oh, I really should have done it like that. So yeah, if you're watching this, if you've watched me do it first before you've joined in, put the darker colour at the top, it just makes it nicer. So you don't have to go back over it again like me. Put your dark orange colour at the top. Then it'll just look a lot nicer. Let me wipe off this pen, it's got a bit cloggy. I do like my Posca better when it's not playing up, but I think they all, at some point, gel pens and Posca pens, they all decide to play up. At some point they do. It's just the way. But there we go. That's as far as I'm going to do. I feel like I want to make a bit of a darker thing on the candle as well. I'm going to go back in with the warm grey 273. Very carefully making this bit darker here. I'm a pain. I realise I'm a pain up the bum. Don't worry guys. You can call me for it later. I'm a pain up the rear. There we go. And that's done. So that's how I would do a light source. Let me zoom out and you can see the whole thing. So this is the finished page. So I have just, in my own time off camera, because I thought it'd be just too much faff again, I have used my white Posca pen instead of the gel pen to go over this waxy drips, because my Uniball signal just wasn't cutting it. So I got the Posca pen out and I've gone over it. It's a lot better. So yeah, but that is it. That's the glow effect. So that's all it is really. It's just getting some orange tones out, getting some yellow tones out. I always start with the orange tones around the flame, and then I'll work out from darkest to lightest with the yellows. The cream is always a nice colour to blend with and to use as your last colour fading out. So normally you'll need a nicer blend, but you couldn't really tell on this page because of the distress ink. But if you've got a plain white page and you can see the edges, that's a nice colour to blend with. The cream, really nice. It just goes with all the colours of the yellow tones that you've used, and it's quite subtle. But yeah, that's what I'd do. If you've got a sort of, say this was closer to the nose, I'd have created more of a glow around the nose, but I feel like it's quite far down away from this. So if you have got a lantern very close to another object, you can cut, bring the glow closer around the other illustration, but I really didn't feel the need to on this one. But I'm really happy with this page. It's quite different. I've sort of stayed away from stickles and glitter for quite a while. When I first started colouring, I was really into it. Like, everything had to have stickles on, everything had to have glitter gel pens on, and then I stayed away from it, and then I've sort of gone back to it all on this page. It's very sparkly, very sparkly. But that's one page done in this new Hanna Karlzon book. I've really enjoyed it actually. Like I say, it's not my favourite book. There is only about 6 pages that I'm excited about in this one, but this was one of them. And now it's done. So I hope you enjoyed seeing how I did this glow effect. Please do hit that big thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and comment down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye everyone.